Erotic surprise. After Rapunzel and her friends parted ways, Clover, Tara, and Jessop decided to head inland to forage for food. A couple of hours later, they stumbled upon a remote cottage in the woods, and Tara lifted her hand, signaling for the group to take cover while they scoped the place out. There was an odd-looking man working in a large vegetable garden, and they peered at him through squinted eyes, deciding if it was safe to approach. "He looks harmless enough," Clover said, glancing at his short breeches held up by crisscrossing suspenders. "I think he's some kind of dwarf." "There doesn't appear to be anyone else in the house," Jessop nodded, peering up at the idle chimney. "But that's a pretty big garden for one person," Tara said, darting her eyes suspiciously over the surrounding property. "We better approach carefully in case he has friends in the area. Maybe we can ask him for some fresh vegetables," Clover said, hiking up the string of dead rabbits slung over her shoulder. "It would be nice to have some garnishes to go with our wild game for dinner tonight." "Especially if he's growing the food for sale," Jessop nodded. "Okay," Tara said, watching Jessop holding his hand over the hilt of his sword as he slowly approached the man. "But keep your weapons concealed so as not to scare him." As the trio approached the man from three sides, he noticed movement out of the corner of his eye and reared up, raising his rake over his head defensively. "Who goes there?" he said, waving the tool in front of his quivering chest. "We mean no harm," Clover said, raising her palms. "We were wondering if you might have some surplus rations that you could share with some hungry travelers. We'd be happy to pay you for anything you can share." The man paused as he appraised the group, scanning Clover's and Tara's tight-fitting bodysuits, then he slowly lowered his rake. "Are you from the village?" he said. "No," Tara said. "We've been traveling for some distance, and are just stopping to pick up some provisions." The dwarf turned toward Jessop and examined his athletic build, peering at his sword resting by his side. "You're a bit of an odd combination for traveling vagabonds," he said. "Two women and a man traveling alone. Are you related?" "We could say the same of you," Clover said. "A strange man tending crops all by himself in the middle of the forest." "I don't live here alone," he said, motioning to the front of his cottage where a group of similar-sized dwarfs tilted the door open, peering at the three friends with bemused interest. "If you're hungry, you're welcome to come inside and share a meal with my friends. It looks like you've got enough meat to feed all of us." Clover paused as she inspected the group of gnomes bunched up around the entrance. They didn't appear to be carrying any weapons, and in their funny costumes, they looked like something more out of a children's fairy tale than a threatening menace. But there was something about the unusual pouches on the front of their pants that seemed out of place. Instead of the usual zipper or button closure, the loose and bulging flaps appeared to be held up by a simple hook and grommet. She turned toward her friends and shrugged her shoulders, signaling that it seemed safe to proceed. "Okay," Tara said, looking toward Jessop, who nodded in agreement. "We'll be happy to share our bounty if you—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?